My friends, listen, it's hard to believe that just over a year ago, I started this YouTube channel with the intent of delivering some good quality content to a group of people who really wanted to take their business and their life to the next level. And here we are now embarking on our 100th episode. Thank you so much for the journey. Thank you so much for following. I could not be at this level without you. 100 episodes and 100 more. Let's go. So what platform are you on? Hey there, Enterprisers, what's good? It's Jason Ligo here again, and in this episode, I want to go ahead and talk to you about what platform you should choose, or in other words, how to choose your best desired platform for your online marketing, and the best way for you to go ahead and approach choosing which one. I hope this is helpful to you. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Listen, when it comes down to the online presence, when it comes down to having an audience and building influence and building true marketing assets, all right, you cannot overlook social media. Social media is one of those things where I feel like I have seen its progression from its inception up to its amazing success right now in my lifetime. I remember in high school and shortly thereafter, looking at some of the fledgling social media platforms that were around at that time, things like MySpace and Friendster and things that aren't even around anymore, and wondering where that would go, kind of seeing what they were for the time, not necessarily jumping in and getting involved with it, but I never thought in a million years that I would see that those would become dominant platforms for running global businesses, right? And to the point where they're actually taking over a lot of people's lives. And there's a lot of intricate things happening in that regard, but it really is amazing to see versus maybe some folks in this generation right now who this is all they know. When they were born and from the time that they could start operating electronics, the social media has kind of always been around for them. For me, being as old as I am, I definitely can appreciate what I have seen that become over the course of my lifetime. And really, as I look back on it, really just in a few short years have I seen social media go from this fledgling networking thing to becoming, again, this big platform where you can run ads and you can, curate information and compile data. And now it's a big, corporate conglomerate the world over. So all of that is just foundation to say that social media is here. It's amazing. And obviously, if you're running a business and want to have an online presence, then you cannot deny the power of social media. With that said, however, as a coach and a trainer, one question I always get is, Jason, which is the best? Which is the best platform, social media-wise, for me to go ahead and get started posting, publishing, marketing, and developing some credibility assets for my business? Which is the very, very best? And my answer is always the same. There is no better or best. There's only different, okay? With that said, though, there are definitely ones that I think will work better for different people according to their business. And so let me go ahead and give you just a few tips to help you decide on which one might be best for you and your business. Again, I trust this is helpful to you. Some really easy, common sense ways to go ahead and narrow it down for you. Let's dive right in. Number one, consider your customers, all right? Consider your customers. I think it's a great place to start for anybody. When you're trying to promote and sell something, a product, a service, or otherwise, where is it that your ideal dream customer, where is it that they hang out, right? What does the dream customer look like? What do they use? Now, I'm not naive to think that obviously these folks will probably use more. It's not like they're just limited to just one platform, clearly, right? A lot of people use different apps. I get that. But certainly, if you think about it, more carefully, there's got to be a platform that definitely sticks out, at least gives you some kind of a majority, gives you some kind of a significant count as to where these people would be, right? A lot of that could be based on a lot of different factors, things like their age, right, and their career, all right? Are they millennials, right? Are they younger folks? Again, what are you selling, and who is this customer that you're thinking about? So if they are a little bit younger, say, and maybe want to do something more fast-paced and a little bit more, a little bit more snarky, as it were, a little bit more creative, then you might look to apps and platforms like TikTok. Versus if they're, if they're a little bit older and a little bit more professional, again, in accordance with what you're selling, then maybe, LinkedIn or something like that is going to be the best platform for you. So I'll let you figure it out, but just start with your customer, because ultimately your customer is the one who does the voting, right? And they don't vote based on popularity necessarily. They don't vote with their ballots or with their voices. They vote with their wallet. So start with the customer. Consider your customer. Number 2, consider your competition. That's right. Consider your competition. Obviously, you know that you're not the only one selling your stuff, right? Whether you're an independent business, completely different in a whole new industry that has a lot of different people, or maybe you're an affiliate, all right, or a network marketer, or some other form of direct sales where you're in a position where you're not the only one selling your thing, right? There's other reps, there's other consultants or what have you who are selling the same type of thing. All right, consider what are these people doing and where are they doing it, right? One good indicator as to a good place for you to go ahead and do your marketing is where it's already working, right? And that's exactly what you need to consider your competition. It's not one of those things where you're like, okay, well, if they're doing it there, then I don't need to do it there because the market, you know, I don't stand a chance of getting market share. No, that's the wrong thinking. If it's already working there, right, then go over there and siphon off a piece for yourself. Carve out your own piece of the pie, as it were. You need to think about competitors as collaborators rather than competition, okay? If they're there, you know, look at what they're doing. Are they successful? All right, if they're not, then maybe it isn't a place for you to go ahead and do it. But where's your competition? Consider what they're doing, and that'll give you some great indicators as to what you should do as well. Number 3, consider your collaborators, all right? Consider your collaborators. I know I used collaborators in the last point, but that was just a, you know, kind of a way of putting things, right? I was talking about your competition in your last point. They were collaborators in the sense that they could give you some good knowledge. But here I want you to really think about future collaborators, right? People that you do want to do maybe some joint ventures with or some partnerships with, right? Influencers that you can attach your name to and kind of really build a good relationship and have successful joint launches and things along these lines. This is really important, all right? Clearly in business, one thing that always exists is that you always have these people in your mind that you want to be like, or you kind of want to be able to sit at their table or the same tables that they're sitting with, right? You want to reach a certain level of success as to who these people are. Well, consider that, right? And where they're at is definitely where you want to be as well, right? So for instance, I know that there's a lot of people that I like to look up to, all right? The likes of you know, some bigger names and some not so bigger names, right? But if I look at what they're doing in their audience and I want to consider myself working with them someday, right? Getting some publicity with them in a mutually beneficial arrangement. Maybe I do something for their audience, they do something for my audience, maybe we have a joint venture on a joint product launch, right? I have to consider where they're at. And this, of course, also leads to a lot of good, fruitful business opportunities. Things like being interviewed on other people's show, their podcast, their YouTube show, in my case, right? That's kind of where I've seen a lot of my collaborations go on, along with Instagram. Just know where they're at is a great place for you to be as well. If they're active on a certain platform or more active on a certain platform than another, then it makes sense for you to plant your flag, to get over there, raise your hand, and get some activity going to draw some attention to yourself, and then maybe the two of you can link up and do some big things together. So where are your collaborators? Who are they? Where are they at? You should be there too. Number 4, and finally, is consider your commitment. Consider your commitment, all right? I don't think enough is said about this, but basically you need to consider what is it that you can commit to, right? I mentioned earlier about deciding on the platform is considering, you know, your customers and who they are demographically speaking, because that could definitely influence the app or the social media platform that they like. For instance, younger people on TikTok doing dances, right? Versus maybe some more established professional people who are doing things on LinkedIn, right? You have to consider who they look like. But one thing you should also consider is what is it that you could commit to, right? What is it that you can commit to? Because that is what is more required, and in my opinion, that's more important than where you go. Anyone can do a YouTube video at any time. Anyone can do a Facebook Live at any time. Anyone can do a TikTok video at any time. Anyone can do a blog at any time. The question is, though, what can you commit to being consistent about? Right? Can you consistently put out that type of content? You know, for me, I'm working, obviously I have a social media following on Instagram, several thousand, and we're doing okay on the YouTube channel. Still building this up. I'm very happy with the growth here. And I've been doing this for well over a year, right? That's part of the commitment, right? If I'm going to approach YouTube, all right, if I don't catch, if I don't hit a viral status, right? If I don't have a video go viral in the first 3 months, am I committed to still cranking out the assets, cranking out the material and the content, knowing that a year from now it's probably going to pay off, or the payoff won't come for at least another 6 months to a year? Because unlike every other social media out there, YouTube is more of a search engine than anything else, and its efficacy actually takes place over time. right? Because people are searching for it versus maybe a quick hit on an Instagram or a TikTok. You understand what I'm saying? Those are faster paced. Twitter, for instance, those are faster paced platforms. And if I want to do those things, can I commit to keeping up with it? Right now, I'm dabbling in the, I say dabbling, but I've just got into TikTok, right? And I'm really enjoying it. I'll put a link to my TikTok in the description. Please check me out. I have a lot of fun over there. I like to be a little more raw and satirical, and it really shows me, allows me a chance to showcase some of my creativity and editing skills. I'm having a ball over there. But one thing I'm realizing in this instance is that it takes a lot more than YouTube. It takes a lot more out of me time-wise and energy-wise, right? On top of that, in order to achieve more engagement and things along these lines, these metrics that we all look at as content machines and content marketers, is that I have to do it a little bit more consistently than I can with a YouTube video. In this case, as you know, if you've been following me, you know that I post one brand new YouTube episode every single week. With TikTok, it seems like you've got to be doing the whole 2 to 5 posts per day in order to even show up on people's For You page, right? At least that's what I'm experiencing. Right? Drop me a comment below if you have any tips for me, but I am having a lot of fun with it. But there you have it. That's a perfect example. What is it that you can consistently commit to, all right? What can you commit to being consistent about? Because ultimately, your consistency and your commitment to that is what's going to help you take off and help you hang in there, and ultimately is what's going to bring you results. So above all else, consider your commitment. There you have it, my friends. These are the 4 ways that can help you determine your best and most desired social media platform that you can pick and to help you launch your online marketing game, or at least boost it to the next level. And all of these apply to any business, by the way, whether you're online or offline. It's all about drawing awareness. It's all about creating content. It's all about creating credibility assets that help you sell your products and services. And this is a great way to do it. Hopefully these tips help you choose your platform a lot more simply than maybe you've had to consider it in the past. Make sure you give me a like and a comment and a share. Most importantly though, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any more hot new content that I got coming down the pipe just for you. Also, if you haven't had a chance yet to download my free book, my gift to you, the Digital Freedom Shortcut, click the link in the description below. What that is going to do is give you my free book, and it shows you exactly what I did to leave my 6-figure finance career to doing what I'm doing now, loving every minute of living the laptop lifestyle. This is Jason Ligo. I'll see you next time. Take care.